A lot of people getting upset about it. Sam Lewis, I think, is one of them. He's a political commentator. Sam, your thoughts?
Well, I just think that kids are suffering enough these days. Even though they fill TikTok with all sorts of rubbish, and they complain about everything, they don't deserve this. These face
Don't
masks,
deserve
they're
what?
accumulating.
Having a mask on? What's wrong with that?
Well, look, do you want to have a mask on for 8 hours in a day? I'm happy to wear a mask for 30 minutes on public transport. If it does help,
Hmm.
which some of the science seems to suggest that it does work. And I mean, if you're wearing a proper one, N95 one that is, or if you're wearing a surgical mask, I'm happy to wear them on public transport.
Hmm.
But if you're going to wear them for 8 hours in a school day, if they're accumulating these germs, kids are not necessarily going to change them either. They might use the same disposable one week after
Yeah.
week. This
I
isn't
think it
healthy
would
for you.
probably be best if just teachers wore them.
Well, I don't know how the unions would react to that, but
Well, I
I
don't
don't think
really
that's
care how the
necessarily true.
unions react to that, but I mean, I do tend to agree with you. Although I've succumbed to not pressure, but sensible debate with my other half, who says because of my underlying health conditions, I really should wear a mask when I'm in crowded places, even though I'm medically able not to wear one. And since the Omicron thing started, I've decided I probably will. But having to wear, I'm not going to wear one on a train where there is nobody in the carriage. I'm just not going to. I'm not going to wear it when I'm in the car on my own. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to wear it walking down the street. But if I'm going into a crowded place, then yes, I will put it on. But you do make an interesting point, Sam, that 8 hours. How many kids do 8 hours? No kids do 8 hours. Anyway, do a couple of hours, then you have a break. School is about the easiest thing going at the moment. Nobody even gets belted anymore. No
Well, I
discipline.
mean,
Give them a
those
good
are, those are
smacking.
those are low standards if you're talking about just belting being the only thing. But look, I
No,
think
cane. Use the cane, the belts and everything.
use
Use
the
the
cane.
cane. Give them a good
Yeah, I
thrashing.
don't
That's what you need, Sam. School is so
don't think
easy
that's a
now,
good
Sam. You
policy
have
these days.
no idea.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
no
no,
discipline, is there? No
certainly
discipline
they
at
have it
all.
a bit easier. But
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is that I mean, kids, if they are wearing these day after day, it accumulates. And I mean, the good thing is that the government is saying they're going to, look at this again in late January, and that, this is ultimately because of Omicron. For 6 months last year, I didn't wear a face mask because I was outdoors. It was sunny. I had just had my booster. I wasn't spreading it because I wasn't
Mm.
going to get it, and everything was fine. But as you say, like I've got to agree with you now that Omicron's around, 160,000 cases. It's
Mm.
going up. It is sensible in certain places. There's nothing wrong with it. We don't have to be all ideologues saying,
If I'm
it's
going
unmanly to wear
yeah,
it
I'm
or
going
whatever.
into the
Like you just,
supermarket, I'm going to wear it.
yeah, exactly. If
Not
you're in
for
your
me,
car,
but because other people get worried, and I've noticed when not wearing it how they go and walk around the other way and go away from you. So I think it's only
well, that's
fair
just
on those other
pedantic, I
people
think.
who are.
That's just,
Yeah, but
I mean, it's
no,
different.
people are
If you
worried.
have if you have like an actual, a proper medical condition, you do have to take
Hmm.
it careful. And, when I've been going into the pharmacy, like even if I open a door for somebody, they won't walk through because you're within 2 meters. And I mean, look, some people do have to be very careful. If you're on certain drugs where your immune system is compromised,
Yeah.
I completely understand that. But in that case, you should be self-isolating, really. I mean, it just
Well,
depends
no, not at
finding a
all. I don't know,
sensible
Sam, Sam,
balance.
Sam, Sam. Look, I have stage 4 cancer. I don't know how long I'm going to live, mate. I have no frigging intention of locking myself away. In fact, quite the opposite. And if somebody else wearing a mask means I have less likelihood of catching it and dying sooner, then I think people should do that. And I think we should all think about other people who are very worried. Quite often it's older people who seem to be very worried. But, you don't know what's wrong with someone by looking at them quite often. And if it gives you a bit of a chance of not contracting this, then I think people should go ahead and do it. I'm still not sure wearing it for 8 hours on the trot, which you said earlier. I'm still not sure if that's actually true, but I don't think anybody could be expected to do that. I certainly couldn't. But, I don't have to wear a mask, but I'm going to actually wear one, as I've said before, when I'm in crowded places, because I think other people feel safer. And it seems the majority of people want to wear masks. And I agree with you. They should be the surgically approved masks rather than just any old bit of tack that people get hold of, or these expensive designer masks.
Yeah, that's the problem these days. That all the ones that you find in your local Lidl and your local Tesco, they're useless. You know, the germs can still get through. The coronavirus is something like 0.1 nanometers, is it? And these face masks in general just can't filter those out. So it is still
Yeah.
getting out. But in schools, for example, like a bit of hand sanitizer, open the windows. I know it's winter, but you can still open them for a bit of the day. Get a bit
Of
of
course
fresh
you
air
can.
in.
Yeah.
Have social distancing. Desks. Have them separated. These are the policies I think that
Yeah.
schools should
But
be
you see, the
doing.
people who complain is the flipping teachers, isn't it? Oh, I'm too cold. Well, wear a woolly. When I went to school, there wasn't even central heating, for goodness
Well,
sake.
I used to live in China, and they don't have central heating in Hangzhou or Shanghai, these rich cities, and you wear winter coats indoors. There's nothing wrong with it. I got used to it. It's fine.
Exactly. People are too soft these days. Good, I agree, Sam. Thank you very much indeed. Sam Lewis, thank you for that. Sam, who is a political commentator, and